Dramica.
For my last piece is an excerpt from the Iliad by Homer. It is an epic poem. The dates are kind of a little fuzzy for how late it was back then, about 800 BC. About 500 BC, 200 BC, somewhere in there, people actually started writing it down because people would try to forge and be like, I claim the blood of this guy into my family and I have claim to this, or I do that. So it really became cemented around that time frame. With much of the epic poetry, as I stated earlier, there's a lot of repetitiveness as far as the actual story in of itself. And it actually, in the ancient Greek, had a rhyme scheme to it. It doesn't necessarily translate very well into English, and I can't read ancient Greek, so it is the Robert Fagel translation. It takes place after the Greeks have been summarily defeated by the Trojans. And Agamemnon had looked to Odysseus, Ajax, Telamon, and Phoenix to go plead with Achilles to come back and fight for him because he had wronged him greatly in taking Briseis' daughter when they originally captured the beachhead at Troy. And almost verbatim, word for word, the gift that he is offered is repeated not only by Agamemnon, but by Odysseus himself. Now, sadly, Achilles tells him, no, take a flying leap off a rolling donut, probably in a lot more colorful language because he really, really hates Agamemnon. But this is Odysseus' plea to Achilles. They reached out for the good things that lay at hand, and when they had put aside desire for food and drink, Ajax nodded to Phoenix. Odysseus caught the signal and filled his cup and lifted it towards Achilles, opening with a toast. Your health, Achilles! We have no lack of handsome feasts, I see that, either in Agamemnon's tent, the son of Atreus, or here and now in yours. We can all banquet here to our heart's content. But it's not the flowing feast that is on our minds now, no. A stark disaster, too much to bear. Achilles, bred by the gods, that is what we are staring in the face, and we are afraid. All hangs in the balance now, whether we save our bent ships or they're destroyed, unless, of course, we put your fighting power in harness. They have pitched camp right out our ships and ramparts, those brazen Trojans. They and their far-famed allies, thousands of fires blaze through their armies. Nothing can stop them now. That's their boast. They hurl themselves against our blackened ships. And the son of Cronus sends them signs on the right, Zeus's firebolt flashing. And headlong Hector, delirious with his strength, rages uncontrollably, trusting to Zeus. No fear of man or God, nothing. A powerful, rabid frenzy has him in its grip. Hector prays for the sacred dawn to break at once. He threatens to lop off the high horns of our stems and gut our ships with fire and all our comrades pinned against the hull. Panicked by thick smoke, he'll rout and kill in blood. A nightmare. I fear it with all my heart. I fear the gods will carry out his threats, and then it will be our fate to die in Troy, far from the stallion lands of Argos. Up with you. Now, late as it is, if you want to pull our Argives, our hard-hit armies, clear of Trojan onslaught. Fail us now? What a grief it will be you throughout all the years to come. No remedy, no way to cure the damage when it is done. Come, while there's still time, think hard. How can you fight off the Argives' fatal day? Of old friend, surely your father Peleus urged you, that the day he sent you out of Phthia to Agamemnon, my son. Victory is what Athena and Hera will give you if they so choose. But you hold in check that proud, fiery spirit of yours inside your chest. Friendship is much better. Vicious quarrels are deadly. Put an end to them at once. Your keen comrades, young and old, will exalt you all the more. That was your aged father's parting wisdom. It must have slipped your mind. But now, at last, stop, Achilles. Let your heart-devouring anger go. The king will hand you gifts to match insult, if only you'll relent and end your anger. So come then, listen, as I count out the gifts, the troves in his tent that Agamemnon vows to give you. 7 tripods never touched by fire, 10 bars of gold, 20 burnished cauldrons, a dozen massive stallions, racers who earn him trophies with their speed. He is no poor man who owns what they have won, not strapped for goods with all that lovely gold. What trophies those high-strung horses carried off for him. 7 women he'll give you, flawless and skilled in crafts, women of Lesbos, the ones he chose, his privilege, the day you captured the Lesbos citadel yourself. They outclassed the tribes of women in their beauty. These he will give you. Along with them will go the one he took away at first, Briseis' daughter. And he will swear a solemn, binding oath in the bargain he never mounted her bed, never once made love with her, the natural thing my lord men and women join. Now all these gifts will be handed you at once. But if later the gods allow us to plunder the great city of Priam, you shall enter in where we share the spoils. Load the holds of your ships with gold and bronze, as much as your heart desires. And choose for your pleasure 20 Trojan women, second only to Argive Helen in their glory. And then, if we can journey home to Achaean Argos, pride of the breasting earth, you'll be his son by marriage. He will even honor you on par with his or as he, full grown by now, reared in the lap of luxury. 3 daughters are his in his well-built halls, Chrysanthemum and Laodice and Istiana, and you may lead away whichever one you like with no bride price asked, home to Peleus' house. And he will add a dowry, yes, a magnificent treasure, the likes of which no man has ever offered with his daughter. 7 citadels he will give you, filled with people, Carmendile, Enope, the grassy slopes of Ire, Phaerae the sacrosanct, Anthenia, deepened meadows, rolling Apenia, and Pityus, green with vineyards. All face the sea at the far edge of the sandy Pylos, and the men who live with them, rich in sheep flocks and rich in shambling cattle, will honor you like a god with hoards of gifts, and beneath your scepter's sway live out your laws in sleek and shining peace. All of this he will extend to you if you will end your anger. But if you hate the son of Atreus all the more, him and his troves of gifts, at least take pity on all our united forces mauled in battle here. They will honor you like a god. Think of the glory that will gather in their eyes. Now you can kill Hector, seized with murderous frenzy, certain there's not a single fighter his equal, no Achaean brought to Troy in the ships. Now, for once, you can meet that man head on.